Alrighty, hello everyone. Hello Affinity. Alright. So Saya's loading into this world really quick. Then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do, because I need to determine where we're gonna go off the bat, which will be interesting. Let me guess. I don't know if she's loading. I think she's loading in. Which is funny because I was going to try and run this world, but it immediately crashed me. So, I like how it registers my feet in weird places. What the fuck is Saya? Alright, well. Alright, now I actually need to see. Is Saya stuck somewhere? Oh, she's not even streaming yet. What the fuck, Saya? Yeah, Crown of the Immaculate.
My full body was fucking with me today.
No, that's where you went off to. I was like wondering. I was like, where the fuck did she go?
My full body's very fucking with me today because I was like having to reset everything. I'm like, what the fuck, Hip? Why are you like this?
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So we have one of two things we could potentially do. We can either go straight to the refuge, which is probably what we're gonna do anyways. Though we are limited in what we can do in that world. There is a house we can utilize. It's just like, what the fuck is the in character? I was just gonna be like, well, what the fuck is the in character reason for using it? But I have something that could work for that.
It's Sariel's place.
It's not her place. No, she lives at the refuge. She does not live outside of it. It could be like just like a place that was like
problem today. And you can see my hip is not having a good day today for some reason. I have no idea why.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's fucking with it? What is fucking with you? It's my phone? No, it's not my phone. Oh, for some reason, why? Why?
Oh, I just realized.
What is wrong with you?
Why is that not tracking on me? Hello?
All the technical difficulties today.
That would do it. There it is. Okay, I put it for world, not... I was wondering, like, why is it not following me? Thanks, camera. Stupid thing.
Yippee, camera.
Stupid. Stupid.
Okay, I am ready.
Okay.
We could go someplace else, but it'd be part of the refuge. That could be very possible.
That's the only thing is like I'm thinking of because I don't have a lot of maps. Like I suck at finding maps. There was one that I've tried loading into and it immediately crashed me. I was like, oh, okay, well maybe not.
Oh.
Yeah, that was weird.
I have too many RP maps. I have too many RP maps.
I don't have enough maps. The funny thing is I could literally take you to Valis, but Valis has no, like, there's no point to... I could take you there, but it's just like, that doesn't make sense in character. It's a good map. It's a wonderful map. I love that map, but it's just like, there's literally, like, how do you explain the rest of the fucking town that's there?
It depends on what would... If it's like a forest area, believe me, there's I have too many forest maps.
Yeah, but do you have forest maps so, like, if you really wanted to sit down and have tea and such? Because I don't have a problem booting up the other map. Because I don't have a problem booting up the other map.
I have places they could sit and things. I know that. There's maps with places to sit, but I'm just like, what would fit?
Yeah.
What would fit?
What fits? Yeah.
Twilight Reflection and Self-Reflection I have too. Which I like a lot of pretty maps as well. You want to just sit down.
I'm okay with that.
I don't have to specifically have tea.
No, I'm okay with it being like...
Because here's this world. This world is way too pretty.
Which one? Oh, okay, I can see.
Good.
Oh, I think I know this map. Huh. Oh yeah, it's this map. Okay.
I have wanted to use this map for something. It's big as well as also very pretty.
Oh wow, this menu is actually kind of insane. Holy shit.
Wait, there's a menu?
Double tap left trigger.
Oh, I forgot it does this. Yeah, this menu's pretty cool.
I can see this working, honestly.
Huge, and it's very pretty.
Is there like, there's no teleports or anything like that, right?
No, but there is a lot of places to sit back here as well. There's like a gazebo over on the other end.
Oh. Okay, I can work with this. I can very much work with this, actually. This is actually pretty good for her aesthetic. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna add this to my favorites now. I'm saving this for later.
There's also a daytime.
I want the nighttime. I like the nighttime is better.
Yeah,
Nighttime's way better.
Way prettier.
Okay. Alright. I think the background's gonna be annoying.
Part of Sanctuary.
Yeah, the background's gonna be a little annoying, but I can work with it.
I mean,
yeah, I want to see what else is here. Oh jeez, holy shit, this place is huge.
it's pretty huge.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Holy shit. Okay.
I eventually might need this for Eva's place too, because just the crystal beam. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, this fits Sariel really good too. Like this could literally be a part of like Elysion. Yeah, this could literally be a part of Elysion with no problem. Okay. Let's see.
I always also thought this was a dream. This almost looks like a dream world.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what else is around?
It definitely looks like a dream world, and it looks really pretty too.
Yeah.
It's as big as the nighttime.
Don't know. But yeah, this map is huge, which we're obviously not going to use like 90% of this, so... Okay,
Place is pretty.
we can make this work. Okay. So, what we'll do then, I will be in the gazebo. For you
Alrighty.
specifically, Saya, in her desire to speak with Sariel, attempts to try and communicate with her, whether it be through phone or it be through the shard of crystal that Sariel gifted her. The one thing that Sariel didn't tell her is how to activate the crystal, because Saya doesn't know how that it is a key. It is a key for her. which is funny because you
screaming at the crystal. She's just
so
screaming at it. I want it.
okay, no joke. Would she actually do that? Would she actually do that?
She'd at least like call out to the crystal at least like once or twice, and then if she didn't get a response, she's like, "Well, shit, I probably should use my phone. Hold on."
Okay, would she just say?
Calls out to Sariel.
Would she just say Sariel's name, or would she say anything else?
She'd say, Sariel, I want to visit Sanctuary.
You
Let
want
me
to
in,
visit the
please."
refuge? You want to visit the storm's refuge? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, those were the magic words. Not even joking.
Oh my god.
Not even joking. That's literally how it would work. So upon saying, you call out her name and you say you wish to visit the storm's refuge.
Actually, she could come out of there if it's kind of like a door, if it's almost like a portal opens up in a
Yep.
doorway.
That's what I was actually gonna think
She's
of
like,
having you do.
"Oh."
Just come out from the archway. So, upon speaking the words, Sariel, I would like to come visit the storm's refuge. A portal would open up for you. A few feet in front of you. You would recognize its familiarity. Except this is not the same vista that you saw when you were fleeing the hunters the first time. This is a different vista. This is, well, to be honest, it's this. You're seeing, nighttime. You're seeing these beautiful shades of blue and purple and such. But you would recognize it as you would, but she would recognize it as the portal from the refuge. It has that same familiarity to her. So after that, what she decides to do is up to you at that point. She will come through that archway over there.
Yeah.
So have fun. Start when you're ready. Oh, there's fucking seed colliders on this. Fuck. I hate that there's seed colliders. That actually makes me annoyed, and I don't think I can turn those off. Oh, shit. Ooh.
Okay, this is definitely a different place than what I'm used to.
Welcome to another part of Elysian.
Oh, this is a different okay. That's good to note. There's different places.
What did you expect? It's a whole world out there. Oh, I say out there. Out here, it's a whole world.
I was about to say, this is a place I don't know well enough. And I wish I did, though.
Perhaps in time.
There are There are definitely places I am not fully aware of, or different planes. If there was different planes, I wish I had known better, or at least know a little better.
Also, I realize that there's fucking seat toggles and I don't know how to turn them off.
I think they're in the tools.
If they are, I don't see them. Hold on. RP pause because we need to figure this shit out because I hate this shit. Why do people put seats and not turn them off? That's so annoying.
Maybe some people do not have desktop.
I don't know. I don't see a way to turn it off. Fuck.
Shit.
Oh well. I can make do. It's just annoying.
We will work with it.
Yeah. We can go elsewhere too. Anyways, let's continue.
At least it's not like the last time I was running in here. Just...
You finally figured out how to use the key.
I was about to say that I was kind of screaming at it for a little bit. I slightly yelled your name and was unsure how to really how it worked. So
I heard.
Oh. I'm sorry then for screaming.
It's quite alright. I purposefully didn't tell you because I wanted you to figure it out for yourself.
If it was like a sending stone, then it was either I had magic or I had something else.
Mm-hmm. But now you know.
Yeah. Asking for you and the place definitely is the key. Probably look like a lunatic though, but Zephyrus kind of like that anyway.
It's quite alright.
I also can't do it in my house, so it's kind of weird.
Oh.
I can't like take our home's kind of interesting, the apartment at least. There is fun wards that make it so people can't really magically get in.
Understandable.
They can't really. Yeah, they don't really let people send messages or anything to get in there. It's my husband's always aware of that. He put those in a while ago, thankfully. But that was for when he put them in. They were for specifically one person, and now there's several people that use those words in a good way.
Fair enough.
Keeps us hidden a lot of the time.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, especially right now. Thankfully, we'll be moving pretty soon. We're gonna get out of that small little apartment.
Well, that's good.
Have a house.
More freedom
it's
for
taken us
yourself
so
and your
long.
children.
Yes, and it's far away that no one... They'd need a special way to get in. They need, like, a portal or one of us to let them in at that point.
I could probably enter, but
Easier.
I would not want to do so without your permission.
If you entered, we'd have to, like... Because it's not just, like, magical wards, there's a whole technology side of it, and that is something right now we're making sure people don't get in. And unless they're registered in the system, and we keep it that way.
Fair enough. Like I said, I do not wish to intrude, so... Nor will I.
You would be fine. I think once we get the house, we'll definitely have a housewarming party, so a lot of people will be coming by.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So you want to talk at the ceremony or after it? What about?
Few things. More so just... The first one, obviously, is seeing how you were doing.
I'm alright. Lately things have been calmed down.
Hmm.
When you first saw me compared to now, I'm a lot calmer.
Yes. I've noticed.
And then officially adopting May brought my mood back at the ceremony.
I'm glad.
She's a good kid. She deserves a lot with how much she's gone through. She didn't used to talk, so to see her happy and smiling and even crying out of happiness is the best thing in the world sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's joy.
Her original mom was in a different plane, and she had, I think, passed away, unfortunately, due to the circumstances that she was in, and that my roommate Mocha was in. They were only treated as objects, so May, being so young, when we first found her, literally having chains around her, it can make you frustrated because you're seeing a situation you wish you could help.
Yeah.
Protect. And the only thing we thought was natural is keep her on Mocha and keep herself protected. And we did just that, and she just kind of grew into her kids when she started calling me and their old dad and mom.
Well, I'm happy for you.
And she's starting to learn more about magic. The last thing I want to do is let her get into fighting just yet.
Definitely not. Not until she's able to hold on to her own.
Yeah. Until then.
Indeed. And there's no rush either.
Believe me, I was being taught how to fight at the age of 6, so I'm not going to go through that.
I can relate. I was taught very young. Spellcasting, swordsmanship.
Yeah.
That's what I grew
Mainly
up with.
spellcasting for me. Dad wanted me learning early, and my brothers are just... My brothers were the ones who got into sword fighting more.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. But I was always the one sitting on the side going, "You guys, stop fighting with each other."
Fair enough, fair enough.
How have you been doing at the very least? Adjusting to our playing a little more?
Yeah.
It's still weird.
Very. That's still putting that mildly. Yeah. Though this past week or so has been fascinating. In
How so?
unexpected ways. I think you caught word a little bit of it at the ceremony.
Your new title?
Not what I expected. I'll be quite honest.
I would say if you and Q continue running like that, I would say that's the wisest thing to do. Keep someone strong and close.
It was interesting. See, Q had invited me to a gathering of those that are close to her. Some of her, as she says, acolytes and friends and such. I believe that was when her form changed.
Really? That's why she looked different at the ceremony.
Yes.
And even now she does.
Yes. From what she has told me, it is her new self, as it were. She didn't quite go into detail as to what exactly happened, but just that something had happened and it resulted in what she looks like now. The gathering was, well, for those to see her in her new self.
I'll admit I couldn't recognize her unless I kind of saw the eyes, but that's mainly all I recognized her as. I didn't, the height difference and the way she kind of was at the ceremony was completely different.
Indeed, indeed. In fact, I did not recognize her until she spoke. She has a very distinct way of speaking.
She does.
Indeed. But she sat down with me. We started talking about things about what she had gone through and such. Talking more so about her home and her past experiences. In fact, she took me to a world, one that she said represented what had happened to her and her people. Desolation. Ruin. That's the best way I can describe that place.
Seems to be a lot of places like that.
Yeah. She was talking about events that led up to the now. And she brought up the reason why she wanted to speak with me. She made mention that, well, she believed that I had a story left to tell. A story that she wanted to see it reach its peak, its conclusion, all of it. She offered to help me tell that story. And in response, or in return, she wanted me to assist her. That was when she asked, when she wanted me to be her champion.
story left untold, or it never reached its conclusion yet.
She explained to me that one of her first champions, a individual by the name of, I believe it was Kriwar, a dragon on her homeworld back long ago. One of 7 that stood with her as she took over as the goddess of her people.
That sounds maybe like a problem. The way you said wording it. Or at least became one.
It was more of... Q's mother, the original goddess of Twilight, in her reality, as it were. As the way that Q told the story, it was... her mother had fallen down a dark path, leading her people and... to ruin, essentially. And so Q stood up to her, along with 7 other individuals. Her original 7 champions. As Q tells me, she struck down her mother. And in so doing, she became... Q became the new goddess of Twilight, putting an end to her mother's darkness.
Can't imagine that's at all easy.
No, it was not. Fast forward many years from what it sounded like. Q's world, her reality, from what it seemed like, was being destroyed. In how it was happening, she is not entirely sure. From what she told me, it was like a juxtaposition realm, or reality, that was technically hers, but not hers, was overwriting the original, erasing everything and everyone.
Oh, God.
Indeed. And so Q seeks to find a way to stop this, to reverse this. To find a way to bring back her people.
I mean, when you're leading a group of people and you're seeing the world collapsing around you.
Indeed.
Think of anything you want to save them.
There is much and more to that story, but perhaps I don't believe it is my place to tell it. It belongs to her.
Yeah. Might ask you at some point about that then. After all, she's gonna help me try and figure out some things about someone coming back, or a way to bridge 2 worlds together. I don't know.
I see. But to return back to where I was, she noted that when she looked upon me, she was reminded of Kriwar, her former champion. She said that in me she saw a pure heart, pure intentions. Ones that embodied the similar values that her champion once held. And so, when I asked her, well, why me? Why not any of the millions and millions of people she has come across in her lifetime? She simply said, because there's only you. You are the only person that I have found that when I look upon you, I see my champion again. I see the values that they once held in you. Champion of Dragons. That was what his title was.
That is a great, and that is a grand title, I'll say that.
Indeed. I didn't accept it then. I didn't accept her offer. Not then. In fact, I was still coming to terms with the fact that she even offered it to me.
You got a couple days to think it over.
I requested to speak with her alone. There was another one of her acolytes there with us at that time when we were speaking. It was Q who recommended coming to Elysion. I told her straight up, to open a door like that, especially to one such as her, is to invoke a great deal of trust. I
mean, it's
open...
like stepping into someone's home.
Quite literally. I do not open such doors lightly. Now I say that, but when I see people in need and those that I know have a good heart and good intentions, I do not have a problem opening that door. But for an individual such as her...
I was one of those.
You were. And so, to open one for her, to invite her into my home, was... not necessarily an easy decision. And I told her as
It's
such.
taking a big risk.
Yes.
Trust can be so easily given, but so easily broken, too.
Yes. But in doing so, Q responded with that she understood that. And that the offer to make me her champion was not an offer to take lightly, that she did not make lightly. She said by doing so, she quite literally gives a fragment of her soul to the individual she chooses.
Jeez.
Yes.
It's a huge amount of trust in someone to do
Indeed.
that.
And it was at that moment that I decided I could take that chance. If she was willing to make that offer to me, that was a trust I was willing to take. And so I opened the door and invited her in. Funnily enough, quite actually right where I brought you.
Although that time when you brought me, oh, there is a lot of rush of emotions at that moment.
I know. And so we got to talking. There was a question Q wanted to have an answer to. It was a question she actually asked me during our first encounter together.
What was the question?
Why did I leave my homeworld? I told her...
That's an easy question to ask someone.
I told her that it was a question that I was not willing to answer at the time. At that moment when she made the offer, she asked again. She wanted to know the answer as to why. Why would I leave?
Probably hard for you to answer, too.
It's not a pleasant answer, no. In fact, it's an answer I'm willing to give. To put it simply, I am a refugee in my own refuge. My homeworld, Lunai. It is primarily ruled by the elves. There are 3 major continents. Each one is ruled by the elves. One of them is ruled primarily by the elven royal family. There are many other races that live on our home world. Humans, dwarves, beastkin, all sorts of individuals, races. And dragons, of course. See, the elves of Lunai, depending on where you live, they may or may not take kindly to half-elves and their variants. In most cases, half-elves are removed. They are seen as a blight in the elven society and culture. Some half-elves...
I definitely understand that feeling.
Some half-elves, depending on where they are, have the opportunity to leave, to go find a place to live or into a society that will take them. And there are those out there that will. Some of them are actually elven ones. There are elven cities that will take in half-elves. They are very far and few between, though. Most elven cities will not give them that opportunity to leave. More often just straight up removing them, to put it lightly.
Oh, goodness. That...
Indeed. So, I am a half-elf. Quite literally, in fact. I did not know I was what I am until I was around 72.
Oh, Jesus, okay. That... I forget that I need to remember also then that helps with a long time.
To give you, I guess, perspective, I am 9 and 90 right now.
Holy... Wow.
But in my society, I am still not considered as of age. Not till I turn 100.
Ow.
But, yes, I did not know. Did not know about any of this until about 72. That was when the first signs started appearing. It's actually quite common with what my siblings have told me. At around the age of 70 is when the signs start appearing. Usually it is scales appearing various parts of the individual's body. They start out small, and then they grow. Each pattern that my siblings and I have is different between us all. The only thing that remains constant is our brow, and we are marked as such.
Ah. So the pattern on here is the same.
Yes. The coloring is different as well. It reflects the affinity that we have. The element within us.
Different color dragons.
Indeed. So, when I first started noticing the signs, I didn't want to believe this. I could not believe this. I didn't...
Probably shocking, because...
Yes. For almost 20 years, I managed to hide the changes happening to me. We do have the ability to access glamour spells, so it is an easy thing to hide. Although if someone was looking carefully, someone could tell that you're hiding something. One of the last changes...
Probably every time you interacted with someone, you'd always get scared about that, wouldn't you?
Indeed.
That they might discover it.
Yes. One of the last changes that we go through when we are becoming, as it were, is our eyes. They become like that of a dragon's. Indeed. Each one of us is different in that regard too, in terms of color. It matches our scales. One day, my glamour was dispelled in full view of around 24 individuals.
Oh boy. That probably wasn't fun.
No.
Not a fun day.
No. Because as soon as that glamour was dispelled, I had two options.
Run.
Or die.
Or... And you chose run.
Yes. I fled the city that I was in. I fled into the nearby forest. Guards and others, hot on my heels, chasing me down. At some point, the world changed around me, and I found myself here. A different world. I had been chosen by Elysion. It was Elysion that rescued me.
So the place chose you.
Yes. Hi, Sora. Thank you for the raid. Yes. Remember the qualities that Q saw in me.
Mm-hmm.
It too saw those within me. And so I became the caretaker of Elysion. It was here that I created the Storm's Refuge. A place for those like me to find sanctuary, safety, peace.
To be honest, I wish I could have found this place sooner. Met you sooner. I know what those feelings are like of having to run and run. Because you don't know which day is going to be your last.
Indeed.
I'm sorry you went through that. I can't imagine that wasn't hard. And how much strife you had to go through.
Still going through, to be honest. It's been nearly 10 years. It still feels like sometimes it's only yesterday.
Yeah.
But in time I did go and return home. It was then that I found and met my siblings. The other 5 dragon elves of Lunai. They were looking for me. See, word got around that another dragon elf had been born. Myself. And so when I finally got to meet my 5 siblings, my 3 elder sisters and 2 older brothers.
God, like I said, that still sounds like a lot to deal with.
You're not wrong. But I learned a lot from them. Still am learning a lot from them. Learned a bit more about what I am. Who we are as a race. But most importantly, we have still one big question. Why? Why are we like this? How did we become like this?
It's a question I think I'm still asking myself, too.
Why only
I
5
think I
of the
just
6 of
see...
us?
You may never get those answers, though, depending on the factors of who you interact with.
I know. My eldest sister has been searching for those answers herself for almost 1800 years.
Whew, that's a long time looking for questions, answers. Jeez.
She searches, but she has not lost sight of the rest of us. Some might say that
That's good.
she would have gone mad trying to find a near impossible answer, but she has not, thankfully.
That is called stubbornness. Jeez.
She also takes care of those in a similar vein, but in her own unique way.
She sounds like a very nice person.
She is. To give you a little bit of perspective, the elves of Lunai usually live around 5 centuries.
Oh, it's a long time.
Now, my sister is over 3 times older.
Oh my god.
She has seen
She's
a lot in her life.
And yeah, I was about to say that there's like so much knowledge that probably is kept with her that she could probably cure any disease if she wanted to.
She can do quite a lot. She's very talented in that way. All of my siblings are, in their own way. But I learned a lot from meeting them the first time.
Must have also felt like you had a sense of belonging.
I did.
Instead of feeling ostracized.
Yeah. It made things bearable.
It didn't fully take away the pain, I'm gonna guess.
No. Nothing ever will.
I feel like then it's no matter if you're surviving or living. Surviving is just running and constantly getting away from the things that are trying to kill you, and living is actually being in the moment.
Indeed.
Being able to take a breath without having to worry about someone breathing down your neck. The process.
Get wrecked, Sora. Yeah. I find fulfillment in what I do here, for which I am grateful.
It certainly shows. Beautiful.
And so I told Q all of this. I gave the answer to the question she sought.
Why tell me this then?
Because I believe I can hold you to the same level of trust.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot more than you realize.
Q wanted to help me to continue my story. In fact, that was one of her biggest reasons for even offering that to me. The other was that she wanted my help in helping her regain what she had lost.
Helping each other.
Indeed. Q has a plan. Ambitious. But a plan nonetheless. A plan that when I asked her if she believed that it could work, that it would do what she believed it could do, she answered and told me that she believed that with all of her being. How could she not? I told her that I wanted to learn. I wanted to understand what I was, what my siblings are. Why do we have these gifts of ours? To grow, to learn, to be able to protect.
I think I'm still asking that question. I have never found an answer.
Q, in response, told me that she would help guide. She would teach. Give strength, should I ask for it. But most importantly, she asked that she be part of my story, and however small or large that I wanted. She wanted to experience it with me.
That sounds like a commitment and promise that you don't make lightly either.
No. But it was one that I made. In her palm, a crystal starts to take form. If, for a reference, if you know what the Final Fantasy XIV crystals, the light crystals from Heidelin, a dark blue one takes shape and solidifies in her hand. The surface of it seems to pulse, almost like lightning is coursing over it, surging through it. If you were to look closely, inside of the crystal itself is a symbol in red. Well, I guess more like a dark purple, I guess. An 8-pointed star with what looks like almost like an eye in the center of it.
What's that? Okay.
This is the Champion of Dragons crystal.
Oh.
The part of Q that she gave to me.
Ah. So that is a piece of Q that... Oh, okay, that's a lot to process.
And so she bestowed upon me and named me her champion. The Champion of Dragons. There are a few other parts to that title, but I think just Champion of Dragons works best.
It's simpler.
It is, yes. The other names to it: Champion of Dragons, Lightning, War, and Fortitude.
War and fortitude are very specific.
Indeed. The dragons have known war in the night. In fact, some of my siblings know it. My eldest sister in particular. There are civilizations that have tried to wage war against her and have failed each time.
Oh,
But there are those who will wage war against the wild dragons. For whatever reason of their
for
own.
just being them?
Indeed.
I was about to say, for just being what they are.
Well, sometimes
Sounds
when a
very
dragon wishes to expand its territory, it gets into conflict with those in said territory, so then issues arrive. But in my sister's case, no, they chose to war against her for what she is.
Typical fucking struggle. That happens still here. It's unfortunate as it is.
You'd see the crystal basically vanish back inside of her. So yes, I became Q's 5th champion.
And there are 7 that she had before.
Yes. There are 2 that she is still searching for. The Champion of Angels. And the Twilight Blade.
Twilight Blade sounds like someone who has a mastery almost of dark and light. And Angels sounds like someone from the upper planes, or maybe Arcadia. Maybe Remio could be that.
Maybe.
If he ever gave that offer to from Q.
Okay, Atlee. I'll look later. Indeed. I know she's still searching.
And I think she'll find it. I mean, she found you. Found the other champions. I think she'll find all of them.
Meeting one of her champions, the Twilight Soul, at the ceremony was fascinating to say the least.
Oh.
May.
Oh boy. Of course May would be. Us two have known each other for so long. I would be surprised if she wasn't.
She is Q's chosen, as Q told me.
May's also very much a sweetheart. I can see why.
I gathered that. Also a bit of a... not troublemaker, but... a bit of... I believe the proper term in common is gremlin energy, I believe that it is. Am I correct in that?
More like mischief maker.
Ah, okay. There we go. Okay, I wasn't quite sure if there was a distinctive difference between the two.
May's also a very nice storyteller. She's known
So I heard.
Hybris for a very long time. Wait. I wish I could then ask. That'd be a question either for Curry, my brother, or Hybris. If May was a part of the Renegades, that'd be a very interesting question to ask her. Maybe yourself, but the Renegades is the name before Aegis even started. Is the name of this group of people trying to help others.
Ah, I see, I see.
I learned about that because Unfortunately, the reason that group kind of started is because of two of my fucking brothers, I think. One of them was more of a problem than the other. And one of them... he's gone now, but he was a problem. My brothers have caused a lot more problems than I have actually helped. Especially my oldest. My siblings, yours sound very helpful. Mine were always causing problems. See, I didn't come from here. Well, I was born here, just wasn't specifically from... I grew up in a small little out-of-the-way town. And there's only 3 brothers I have, and I'm the only girl. This is awkward. My 2 oldest brothers always were the weird ones. They were the strength and heavy hitters a lot of the time. But that meant they were always fighting with each other. Ron and Curry were always... As kids, they were just playing around, messing around, and... When they got older, it was fight to the death, kill each other, kill the family. At least for one of them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Dawn's the one that mainly was the problem causer. Was very much he, as he grew up, started to get colder. Or seeking power instead of wanting to... Just seeking strength and power for his own means. Me and my little sibling, Void, were always... Well, Void was... As people have said, Void was the forgotten one. He didn't stand out much, but I was always the one that usually saw him. He's just a quiet kid who liked books a lot. Liked studying magic, and always was curious more about the world when he was younger.
The scholar type.
Yeah. He and I were the ones that read books all the time. And I was the one always yelling at both my brothers to calm the hell down, or I'll get Dad or Mom. And they feared Mom. All that happiness went away one day. One day, my brother, being gifted a specific sword from a friend of ours. He'd made them for his kids. Well, for Ryder's kids. My dad's kids. I was never gifted one, but Curry and Dawn were. Dawn and very much start to get our hungry. he wanted to fight every 2 seconds. And that would just trouble him. Until he just snapped one day. That's the swords that they carried were specifically made for them. And Don's was something that could open portals. As he had to learn about it. I was thinking it was going to be a normal day when I'm hearing rustling and tuffling upstairs. I come down and a portal opened up in our front door and he's throws my little brother in. I never knew for the longest time where the hell that was and where it went. Then he looked towards me and I ran. He had a look of almost a killer in his eyes. I ran to my mother, who was... She was used to the rumble and tumble, but she was surprised when I started to get really scared. Unfortunately, she and him fought. Grew smarter. Took her down. He killed her, and it was terrifying. I was mixed. So I tried to defend myself. I tried to use whatever magic I could and kind of set the house on fire. I was pleading and begging for Mom to wake up again. He said he'd already killed Dad. And he wanted to kill us all. Because thought we were just in his way.
I'm sorry.
My mother, with her last string, defended me. I defended myself. He knew that Curry was a bigger threat. So he went to find him. And just left me there. He said the fire will just take me out.
But it didn't.
I lost. No, I lost. I ran out of there. Lost my mother's strength. She told me to run, to leave. Get your brother and leave. I found Curry and we got away, but we lost everything. I haven't gone back to that place since.
I don't blame you.
Once word got out that once a friend of my father's, who we called our stepfather, got word that his friend and their family was ruined. It took me and Korean for a while. We were safe until the hunters came looking for us. I understood, though, the whole mess of people. When they knew what you were, they feared you or they admonished you. I know that feeling too well. This is all I've ever heard.
Yeah.
See, I'm not normal myself, but I hide what I am quite well. I've had to now. You ever heard of legends about Nephilims? These powerful hybrid creatures that could cause destruction in some worlds, or could cause great strifes in the fight against the heavens above and the hells below.
Rumblings of it, yes.
That's what me and my siblings are. That's why that day you saved me, those hunters were looking for my life. A bounty was seemed to have placed on me, and specifically one hunter's taken it upon his duty to come and look for me. He wants me gone or taken in. He just probably wants me now gone, killed. Because we're just, most of the time, considered creatures of abomination, creatures that shouldn't be around, creatures that shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
That's why I understood when you were describing the half-elves and how others treated.
I've gone back several times to Lanai, but I've never once stepped foot back into that city.
You're a different person, though, than you were back then.
Yeah.
But still, painful memories scar you.
Very much so. In that regard, you and I are alike.
Yeah. I still sometimes have to run. As I said, I wish I could have found this place sooner, or I wish it could have reached out to me sooner. For a lot of my life, I kept running. From town to town, to place, just constantly having to hide what I am. As the moment someone knew, I knew I couldn't stay. Made that mistake once, and the villagers were not too happy. I was only 15. I was still trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
As you see, I used to cover my hair and eyes. Always an easy sign for someone to spot me. Trying to look like someone else. When my stepdad was alive, I posed as his daughter. Even though he never had one.
Like me for 20 years.
But then one day, stepfather kind of left a note and left me the jacket I wear and the sword I carry. He said he had business to go forward and couldn't take me with him. But he never said where he was going. So I was left on my own to travel. Eventually, at some point, I finally found Curry again. We'd been split up when the hunters started to look for us. We were split up. He went on his own path and I went on mine. Finding meeting back up with him was a bit weird, though.
I could probably imagine.
With the weirder factor of, apparently I'd been... Something had happened for 2 years. And I wish I could remember. I don't remember 2 years for some reason. I remember the moment before. I'd seemingly lost my memories, but I remember after, when I woke up in my brother's arms, him going, "Where have you been for the last... I lost contact with you for years, where have you been?" Said I looked like a raging demon, and the village that, or at least the time he was a demon hunter, he was taking odd jobs to just make ends meet. And then he had apparently all of a sudden found me. And we traveled for a bit. Until he brought me up to the cathedral one day. And there's where I first met a lot of people.
And so your journey led you to Aegis, and eventually... here.
Yeah. When I first came into Aegis, I was really a different person than what I am now. I was hot-headed, ready to jump into a fight when I needed it. I wasn't really thinking all the time. But then again, when you're just surviving, you don't really... It's either an action or not. And you're just wanting to survive to the next day.
Makes sense.
And then I started to meet all the friends I have. I'd met Zoc and Saga at that time. I'd met Ashura. I'd met people that have now kind of whispers on the wind a little bit there. Hyon, Asso, Lady Crystal, Hybrid, who was still active as she was. You don't see her go about much on the field anymore. For that reason, she's very strong and dangerous.
I see.
I also met Ethereal at that time. Dylan and Sig too, and they were, when I found out they were human, I kind of wanted to stay away from them. I didn't trust people at that point. Especially humans. They
Given your past
hated me.
experiences.
Yeah. Demons didn't like me. Higher up of angels hated me and thought I was just a creature of some kind of bad juju to bring about, and then humans thought I was a sign of the end times, so don't think you could blame me for wanting to keep what I was a secret for so long.
No, not at all.
But I learned when I got there and started to get used to people, they really weren't that bad.
It's usually how it goes.
In fact, someone I don't think you may meet, but maybe. Nessa was one of those people that gave me a chance. Granted, I got put through hell for it, but that's because I was making a lot of mistakes before I became a full-on agent. Oh, I remember how stupid I was.
It's a part of growing up, Saya.
I know.
And that's still the same. That is still true even through through the latter years as well. You still learn. You still grow.
I am still learning, and there are so many things I still need to learn.
Speaking of ages, though, I was at the cathedral last night.
Oh, enjoying your time.
Yeah, I was. And then it got interesting.
Oh. Did someone do something stupid again?
No, but I do believe that Aegis is going to get contracted for help. At least from what it sounded like. Do you remember hearing about that in the messaging from Hezekiah about the pirates and the going on?
Ah, yes, I did.
Yeah, so last night a brigadier from this federation showed up.
Oh boy, do we have to deal with the Federation again?
Apparently they're wanting help in dealing with some rogue fighters, as well as probably assistance with reclaiming some worlds. Or something along those lines, I'm not entirely sure.
Goody. We get to help the... It may have been a fucking branch, but I have been very I would be very hesitant to help the Federation after what the fuck they did. Ugh.
I wouldn't know. I merely just listened.
I can definitely tell you, the last time we dealt with the Federation, we were sent to a planet that was literally had a hive mind, and all the people there mainly had been taken over by this hive mind. They've been turned into not people anymore. They're just subservient to this. And we, as they just had to deal with it. With the assistance of the Federation. However, the entire time they were there, we were badmouthed by the Federation, shot by friendly fire, and one of our fucking coworkers was almost kidnapped by them.
I see.
And then they've sent us on dangerous missions they just don't want to deal with. And could have gotten us several times killed. Several people. Belle told me that was just a fucking corrupted branch of the Federation, but... I'm scared and worried to trust them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Aside from that, remember that one individual you told me to keep my eyes out for?
Which one? There's several I think I've said.
The one that you said sometimes frequents the cathedral?
Tall, dark, and creepy?
Yep.
Ah, Mr. fucking McKay.
Yeah, so I had the... Well, I saw him coming aboard.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna guess everyone got tense after he came in.
Yep, and you could very easily tell. He did not speak with me. But he did inquire about me, apparently.
Oh joy, he's curious.
So I've been told.
I can tell you more about what the fuck he's done, and why some of us get so tense about it. Since you're a recruit, it's well aware you should know.
Certainly. If that's something you want to talk now, or if you want to do that later.
Now, we're in a secluded place, he's probably not gonna fucking know.
If he somehow figured out how to get in here, that would be a problem.
I heard it's the reason why I give people that warning not to tell them much about you.
No, and I don't plan to.
First time I met him, it was at an investors ball. He's one of our investors of our company. As unfortunate as it is. He's also a councilman of Shira. Market District. That's his playground, I would say.
If he's this such a big concern, then why is he still kept as an investor?
Because we're trying to get evidence and build up a case against him. Keep your enemies close and your friends closer. And if he sees that we trust him, and that he can trust us, and the more information we get from him, the more we can fucking get against him when the time comes, and when the tides need to turn finally. When Hybris gives us that fucking order to go, hey, you don't need to worry about Malleus, I'm fucking talking to him and spreading out all the fucking dirt we have on him.
I see.
He just has been trying to do that because of what he's doing. He's fucked up. I mean by fucked up beyond belief. First time I met him, he wanted to literally buy Hybris's kids and a friend of mine, Neuralia. She was rare. They're rare. He likes unique things.
Oh boy. Okay.
He collects people. Especially unique people.
Right. Okay.
You're already starting to see the dangers.
Yeah. I was already off-put by him, and now I'm even more so.
As well as also me and my husband have been trying to... My husband has been trying to get close to him because of the business side and or trying to see what he can kind of glean. My husband owns part of industrial and works with Jobot, the other councilman. It's a lot of electric and power, and that's just because he lives in the city. He works closely in the city. And also, to Inthuriel's credit, he has a lot more bravery than me, because I could never stand near Malleus. And also, Inthuriel's human. I don't think Malleus sees much uniqueness in that, except for maybe what knowledge he has, and about probably his cybernetic eye. That'd probably be the only unique things. But cybernetics are common nowadays there. We've been working on some of his missions to go into his main building. Some of those missions have really gone wrong. One of them, some people went in and they tried to rescue a kid. There was a kid. There are things in that building that, and people are being experimented on, I believe. I tried to save one kid, and that kid died because of a messed up portal. When Sakoto came back, she was the one holding the kid. And all that was left with her was a head. All of us that saw that. And mind you, please keep this between Aegis agents. We are doing our best to try and keep the information as minimal to people unknowing as possible.
Understood.
It scarred a lot of us, and a friend of ours named Slade was devastated. He was the one who led that mission and gave that order to take the... That's why. And he used to be a father himself. Mind you, he was alive.
I can hazard a guess.
But it's gone because of Malleus. He had... How that happened was... I pointed out Ludwig, right? Dogman.
Was he the one at the celebration?
Yes.
One who seemed very
Right.
eloquent.
Well, that's because that man is... that dog is very much part of a bard crew called the Bardic Circle. He is very much a good person. Despite his elegancy, he's very trustworthy.
I see.
Him and Malleus have had spouts before, or at least talks. After one incident, he couldn't go back to see Malleus. He didn't want to. He was walking with my daughter and, you know, Evelyn, small kid, her mom, Sapphire.
Yes.
They were going out on a walk in Saphira. Kiko, my daughter, well, one of my daughters, they were walking, and sure enough, some of his men showed up. I think they asked him politely that Malleus wanted to see him, wanted dinner again. with him. Ludwig did not want to go, so they were trying to force him. To that end, he couldn't find a way out, and he didn't want to put Sapphire and Kiko in danger. So he got them out. And apparently, after they were safe, because of what he is able to, via a kind of, if you know about fiends, once they are killed here, they can go back to hell. He is, I won't really say what kind of fiend he is, but he is one. He had taken the option to end his life instead of going with Malleus.
I see.
Little did we know that his choice would cataclysmic into something very bad. When I heard about that, I was devastated, but I just lost another friend. I knew maybe there's a chance he could come back, but as I keep hearing and knowing that death always has a price, there's always a cost. As well as also I've gotten my own rage, because during that time he fucking started to use his men to attack my daughter and Sapphire. When she came back, she was scarred. She was scared. I can't say I don't blame her, and she didn't even know what happened to Ludwig afterwards. He had done that before. A friend of mine, Slade, who some people have, used to work at Aegis. He was a good co-worker. He was strong, and his rage knew no bounds when it came to demons and when it came to protecting people. He'd do a lot. He was a really good person deep down. He and I worked well. And how, when I knew what I am because of someone saying something, which, when I say what I am, it's a trust thing. It means I do trust you with my very being and what I am. If I knew someone told what I am to others, I am very much scared.
I feel in the same boat, honestly.
That is why I would never tell anyone what you are, unless you were okay with it. Same for me. I tell people that as the sign that I trust you. Slade was a good person, though his last thing he did was not the best. But I can't blame him for his anger. He had seen time and time again Malleus do these horrible things to people he cared about or that were innocent, and once he heard what happened to Ludwig, he snapped. That's what I think, at least.
Grief does things like that.
He acted without really thinking it through. All of a sudden, I'm getting news reports and things, and I'm hearing explosions. It apparently opened a rift to hell so big that he let a something huge, a titan-like demon, to come rampaging through Market. Yeah, he had those connections, and
Oh.
he was going straight for Malleus. He wanted his head, by any cost. And that meant a lot of people's lives. The moment we got a call out, Aegis was sent to help. We were getting people out. We were making sure people got... innocent people that didn't deserve to be in the chaos got out. And that lasted for several days. I remember being so exhausted after all of it was over, because I was in and out, going down there and getting people out and healing who I could, bringing them to more medical attention if they needed it.
I think some of them actually came here, too.
That night, Aegis went sent to help Malleus. Malleus, the twisted man he was. Scaris led that mission. If you ever see a bone man, he's a bone man who is technically dating our head medic, or actually no, they're engaged.
I see.
He led that mission. And him and Slade were very close as friends too. He, because of the circumstance, had unfortunately had to kill Slade for if he didn't kill him, Malleus would have taken him. Malleus would have killed him and blamed it all just on, oh, he tried to kill me, it was self-defense. And we weren't letting him get a hand on Slade's body. We knew that his wife took him. And honestly, I don't think they would have won across a frost giant. Or... crocodile-like being? Because... she was a frost giant. Still... big, tall woman, angry, had a hammer, you did not want to fuck around and find out with her. She was cool, but... fuck. She was dangerous, but very easy to get along with and fight alongside. We and Malleus were pronounced as heroes because the terrorist Slade was taken down. When us and Aegis told us to keep our mouths shut. And Scaris that night told us to steel ourselves. As much as all of us were angry for losing a friend because of this asshole, this man, we knew that if we laid all our cards out right now, we'd be risking our own heads and our own lives. And I can't imagine Scaris' guilt.
Yeah.
That night, I think everyone we all kept watch of each other. And we made a promise that at some point, like it was silent, but Scaris even said that man is horrible. That man is a monster in disguise, looking like a human. And then soon enough, he'll eventually be brought down. And we're slowly learning more and more things about him. The more we learn, the more eventually I feel like one day we'll just be able to get rid of him. Because we know if we go charging in, it's gonna be the exact same thing that happened to Slade. He's powerful, has connections, he's got things that we are not even sure about. So we can't just go in guns blazing just yet. As much as people will call us probably not like heroes because we're working with a criminal or working with a madman. We all made a promise to Slade that I feel like me and Asha made a promise to Slade that we would get him back. I think Asher and I were the most angriest, and like Blue doesn't get angry as much as he used to. So to see him vehemently angry and shaking, and it hurt. So he just has become like this weird little connected family now. We all make bonds and are friends with one another. We work closely with one another too. That's why I say very, very careful if you do talk to Malleus, Sariel.
I will.
He can't really hurt us of Aegis. As much as he'd love to grab one of us, if one of us went missing, I think there'd be something wrong. And with no communication, we are doing our best to watch out for each other, especially in Zafira. And now with my stupid hunters, I have to watch my own back and others.
But you have something they don't expect. Got someone else in your back pocket now.
I have quite a bit of people, I think, too. Not just you.
I know.
I told Ashra, Zak, Saga, Hezekiah, Ku. I've known a few of them since I first started. I knew I could trust them, and they told me if something happens, don't be a fucking afraid to call. Don't be afraid to send a message out.
You literally have the easiest tool to do so.
With you, yes. There's one other person that's probably gonna get angry if I don't call him. But I'm worried about calling him right at this moment since he's gotten busy with his own pearls. Please, I would say also the information that I had gotten from what we're doing in Aegis, I tend to keep between recruits and core because we don't want visitors to actually know.
No, and that makes sense.
Yes.
I appreciate you telling me.
I'd rather warn you and tell you now than for you to find out later, and then it's a whole other issue.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We're all trying to figure out ourselves and what we can learn. Hell, the whole thing with Heaven's Reach and the tower. Me and Ethereal are just doing because we need to figure it out.
Yeah.
We want to. Ooh. And we also want to help Reason Q and what they're doing.
Well, I'll be helping Q, that's for sure.
Both will be helping Q and David. I am still so nervous to be called a Vanguard now. Oh.
Think I'm not nervous about being called a champion?
I'm called a knight, and now I'm called a Vanguard. Jeez. All these fucking titles.
I know. You collect one and you start getting more.
Yeah. That seems to be the case. Well, I'm not opposed to it, I just think titles are one thing. I don't think they're the all end all of everything.
No, but...
They're nice to have. And they give you, I don't know, a sway sometimes and things, but...
You're not wrong. They can be useful.
Someone would take you more serious if you had a title sometimes, especially with noble folks' names.
Indeed.
And hell, I already said this to Reason Q. I'm not letting my husband go down into a place he don't know unless I'm coming with him.
Well, then I'm probably expecting you to come after me at some point then, probably.
If you're in danger, yes. I'm sorry. I have literally, to my husband's credit, literally gone down to hell to find him.
Fair enough.
He got wrapped up in something and then had a little trip down the hell, which wasn't too pleasant. At least for me. But I think also you could trust Ethereal too. He is knowledgeable a lot on magic, even though he can't cast a single lick of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I rely a lot on his technology knowledge for when it comes to maybe getting into a secure place. That man's smart enough to fucking hack his way in and out without any problems. Plus, I believe his knowledge on a lot of things would be greatly appreciated for people. They took his fucking advice or listened to his knowledge.
I'll keep that in mind.
He also, at the end of the day, wants to protect the people closest to him. I mean, hell, I'll say this, how many times we literally ran into danger because the other one was. Or gotten hurt because the other one wanted to protect the other.
You look out for each other even though the consequences may not be pleasant.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that man... That man probably, if I got kidnapped, would probably risk life and limb just to get me out. And as much as I wouldn't want him to, He'd still do it. He is stubborn when it comes to something.
Hmm.
He wasn't always like that, though. And he wasn't as outspoken when I first met him. He was quiet, he was in the background. He didn't really want to be seen. At the end of the day, his heart was always in the right place.
And that's what matters. In the end.
One of the many reasons I think I fell in love with him. Getting to know that he wasn't from here either, and that he's far from home too.
We're all far from home one way or another.
Yeah. The one thing I'll also say is Q's going to be probably helping me do something. Reaching out to find my father.
Ah.
When I was younger, I'd given up hope that I could find him or reach out to him. Because I knew and I learned later on that being part fiend means you go back to hell, meaning there could have been a way or a chance that I thought my dad would still be alive. After the last time when I met back up with Curry again, I kinda lost hope about it. Of ever finding him. Come to realize that he has a lot more friends and that Q had kind of brought that hope back. She told me that there was a message he had passed on to her, and that he was still alive.
That's good.
To be honest, I really at first didn't want to believe that, so it took me a couple of days to process that.
I don't blame you. But hopefully,
He said,
someday soon.
I hope so. The realization, though, that he does not know what happened to any of us. He just knows that I'm alive and Curry's alive. He doesn't even know about my mom. He doesn't know about my siblings. He knows nothing of what happened.
You'll have to find out eventually.
And that's gonna be the most painful thing.
Yeah.
He loved our mom. And it's gonna be a painful thing. I might have to tell him that mom's gone. Dawn is dead. His youngest is somewhere. Lost to the void itself. And I've been trying to reclaim him back. And Curry, he's relaxing at the most part.
I see.
He's done a lot of work and done a lot of fighting. For once, for him, relaxing is a good thing, I would say. He needed it. A break from all the demon hunting and family shit. I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
I need to also fucking sit down with Curry and talk about all this.
Well, I am probably going to go back to the refuge. If you'd like to join me, you can. can stay here as long as you'd like, of course.
I might come back here. Honestly. Going to Heaven's Reach and going here and sometimes needing a break away from all the stress that I would say our plane gives. The universe itself, all the problems that come with it.
Yeah. I can
Being
agree with
here
that.
in Heaven's Reach is like being in a dream.
Except it's not a dream.
Yeah. And it's nice and relaxing.
Well, I'm glad.
Thank you for bringing in me and trusting me to come to your home.
Of course.
Appreciate that. And someday, when our house is built, I'll definitely offer you a chance to be there too. You'll always be welcomed.
I'd love that.
Heck, it's gonna be the home we probably live and continue to live in. Hell, it might be the chance that eventually having kids there, giving them a safe place to actually be raised. Because they might be like me, and I don't wish for them to get hunted like I was. To not have the same childhood that I had to go through.
Indeed.
And probably at that time when I'm ready, I'll put down my sword and say I need to rest and take care of them. Retire finally.
One day.
And then go off on adventures with the kids and Sariel. Not world-ending ones, but adventures of ease.
Adventures and journeys of discovery.
Yeah.
I know many worlds like that.
I have no idea what those kids are gonna be like. But they'll have a mom and dad around. That's what I want to ensure.
Yeah. Well, I do need to take my leave. Feel free to stay as long as you like. If you want to leave, you know how.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Probably going through the same way I came in, and just saying I need to go back.
Envision where you want to go. It will take you there.
Oh, then maybe it could take me to Orlando, so I won't have to worry about Saphira.
You could. Come, I'll walk with
I
you.
need to stop there. I need to stop there, and I can tell you about Orlando and that history another time. That's another story.
I would enjoy hearing it.
About how many times I think I've gone there and something weird has happened, but at the same time I've defended that place more times than I can count now.
I mean, the one time you took me there was definitely weird. That was for sure.
Like I said, it's not as... It's weird, but I always say it's better that you're not going around and having to go through really bad streets, and to me, compared to Saphira, it's a little easier to just walk around casually.
That's
Don't
fair.
have to worry about getting mugged every 2 seconds.
That's fair.
And the cops are relatively nice. Law enforcement, the people there are nice too. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring more stories when I come next time.
I'd love that.
You saw some definitely personal stories that I don't bring up much.
Oh, then I will look forward to hearing them when you feel like telling them.
Thank you. I appreciate the storytelling, and I will never judge you for what you are, Sariel. I usually judge people by their actions, and what you've displayed in your actions so far have been kindness and safety. But what that place, what we lack sometimes, and what should be more often.
I appreciate that. Truly.
Anytime. I'd also be a hypocrite if I said otherwise.
Have a pleasant evening. I'll see you
Oh.
soon.
You too. More stories in tea time.
Absolutely.
There is your scene.
Yeah, that was fine.
I started to cry when when I started hearing about Sariel. I'm like, fuck, these two. These two have had similar paths. It's just...
Oh, it's so good.
It was good. It was an open up and trust, and she felt like Sariel needed to know a lot and to gain that trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's for Saya, the painful part for her is that in her journey, she really didn't have a place to call safety until she came to Aegis.
Mm-hmm.
And that was well into her being 23. She'd been through a lot of running, hiding, abandonment, and just not many friends to see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So for her to have a safety net like this is always a good thing for her, because she goes, a safe place I can actually go if things really get rough again.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Sariel's got some fun stories to share, but those are stories for a much, much longer and later time down the road.
Yeah. And the thing that she kind of opened up about Malleus was because she's like, I don't want someone who would probably pique his interest to not know what the fuck happened. Plus,
she has very much piqued his interest, I can tell you that.
Oh, fuck. Well,
yeah.
That's why she's warning Sariel. Do not get, like, try to be careful with your words around him. He's dangerous. And it's also, she didn't tell Sariel some of the things Ludric told her, because Ludric quite a bit knows what can also kill him. So, Saya's like, I have to keep that. I have to keep that in my back pocket.
Yeah, I've already talked with Howell about like how far he can go with her, and it's more of just as of right now. It's just the general like creeping around type thing. He's not gonna like actively try things on her. So no, I told him it's a potential story thing that we could possibly dive into much later down the line, but it's like. I don't know if I want to go that route. I gave
permission for two of my characters to be his. Saya's one of them. I said, if you catch her, that is if you catch her. Yes, you definitely can try and inquire what the fuck she is or what she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
However, she's sneaky as fuck sometimes.
Yeah.
And
one character.
She continues to do that.
Yeah. One character that it will eventually be coming, I basically told him, you find her, you can have fun with it. I'm going to give you that freedom. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, because the character for what they're going to be doing is very, very interesting, to say the least. Soon TM. Oh boy. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to go and stream. And...
yeah. Also, Sariel also got something that, fun fact, not many know about her mom. And if people fucking criticize and talk badly about her parents, actually. she will rile up in fucking anger.
Ooh, okay.
Girl gets angry when you talk about family.
Hold on. Now I might actually go and let me see. They are done? Yeah, they're done. Okay. I might actually go over to the grip. I take that back. I'm gonna go to the grip. Actually,
Ooh.
Sariel wants to visit there at some point, and I've been meaning to get time to do that on a Friday. So she might ask Saya to go with her on that.
To the grip?
Yeah,
Oh
to the iron
shit,
grip.
well... Oh fuck, well... Saya's never... She has a coin from Aries. She just never has actually gone.
Sariel has,
never gone to the
Sariel's
grip.
been told how to get there. It's just she hasn't, I just haven't had the time to do it. So, I do want to have her go at some point.
Orlando on Fridays.
Yeah. Because I do want to have her go at some point. Mainly because at some point there's something that will have to occur later on. But yeah.
Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
So I'm gonna go ahead to the grip. I will see you later.
Good luck.
Well, my.
Good luck. Let me know when happy.
It was fun.
Bye.
I very much enjoyed that.
It was.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, you got a bit of a
Oh,
very much so, and you got a fair bit of stuff from the champion side of that too.
Yeah. Let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you got a lot of Saya backstory, and fun fact, definitely Sariel's gonna see if she ever sees the blades and ever sees if the mention of Dawn is always a fucking mess with her time as her hair started to grow up, because it's the reason why the family's so fucked up. And she telling Sariel he's the reason why my mom and dad are not around is something she rarely, and she'll eventually say, "Hey, I also now have that blade in my possession."
Oh,
that is something I'll
yay.
talk about later on. Because her family now has Yamato in tow.
Oh, that's right. I remember you getting that. Yeah.
Yep.
Fun
And
things.
she couldn't. It wasn't always something she could fucking deal with. So. Fun time of maybe someday Sariel will see her. Maybe there's a possibility of her using it.